Hello, Wednesday evening yoga. Let's see, the studio is now open. Hopefully you will join shortly. Welcome, first person. Thank you for joining. Hello. Nice. Just going to wait a little while until a couple more people have joined. It's a beautiful evening outside. Thank you for joining. Well done. Yoga can be kind of the hardest work. So well done for coming to do some work. Perhaps you're ready for some work. Something physical. So just some metaphorical musings while we're waiting for the studio to fill up. One of the aims of this rigorous yoga exercise, doing these asanas, is to create heat in the body, to burn away the impediments, mental and physical. So the mental impediments are like that filter which stops you from seeing things the way they are and causes tension. And that tension can be held in various spots in the body as like a grip, an iron grip of muscles that never get the chance to really relax or feel the infusion of breath. So these exercises are designed to really get in there, into those dark corners of your body that never get worked. So we're going to start off with some sitting exercises, a couple of interesting sitting moves. We'll do some lunging where our hips are getting forward and backwards. Some forward and back bend kind of sun salute movements. We'll end up with some lying on our back movements, opening up the front side of our body, and then we'll go a bit quieter. So I hope you enjoy the practice. Let's go. Let's start off at the front of your mat. With your right shin, put your right shin parallel to the front of the mat. Bring it a little bit back, maybe 20 centimeters. Sorry, something I forgot. I should actually be saying the inverse of what I'm doing because of this mirroring issue. So I'm actually going to rephrase that as put your left shin, I'm doing my right, but I'm going to describe it as your left. Put your left shin at the top, and then place your right foot in front of the knee. So your feet are kind of on the side of the mat, and then you're sitting in the middle of the mat as far back as possible. Your fingers are spread like a cat, and you're stretching up. The elbows are slightly bent, but you're stretching up as high as you can go. You're breathing through your nose. This whole practice is mouth closed, breathing through your nose. Stretch up. Activate the feet and lean forward. So you're trying to fly forward like Superman, Superwoman. Maybe your elbows are broad slightly, stretching forward. Your sitting bones are reaching back. How far forward can you get your fingertips? Holding it there for a couple more breaths. Breathing deeply through the nose, getting length into the back of the body and the lower torso. Okay, rise up again. Now lean your fingertips as far back as you can while still maintaining contact on the floor with your feet. Lean back. You might feel strange in the sitting bones. Tilt from side to side a little bit. Leaning forward again. And then fingertips next to your body. Okay, lift that right shin up and place it on the side of the mat. So you've kind of got like a square here going on. This front shin is parallel to the mat. The back thigh is parallel to the front of the mat. Right arm up, looking to the left. And you're pressing that back thigh back. There's one line here from your shin up through your hip all the way up. You're looking over to the side and you're stretching up, pressing that thigh back. Just enjoying that unusual twist. You're looking to the side. Now drop your top hand. Your hands are facing the side. You're facing the side. Your shoulders are parallel to the side wall. You're pressing that back thigh backwards. Just enjoying that unusual position. Pulling the ribs in a bit. Okay, release. Switch sides. So now your left shin is parallel to the front of the mat. Your right one is over it. Sorry, I've got to get this mirror. I mustn't forget the mirroring filter. Your right shin is down, your left's on top. Do the opposite of what you first did. hips are back, stretching up, reaching forward. And bring your attention inwards on your breath. Reaching back, forwards again. And then lift that top shin and place it behind you with the shin on the side of the mat. Left arm up, you're looking over to the right. Pressing that back thigh back, enjoying that twisted kind of spiral effect from the leg all the way through the hips to the shoulders. Drop the top hand and you're looking to the side now quite vigorously, but that back thigh is pressing back. Okay, release. Come onto your knees. Your hands are broad on the mat. Your knees are together. Your right leg is parallel to the mat, foot facing the floor, left arm forward. Stretching from the sole of your foot to your fingertips. Fingers are spread, the hand is vertical. Lift your ribs a little bit and then go for more length between the sole of the foot and the fingertips. Holding here for a couple more breaths, not much longer. Keep the leg up, drop the hand. Your hands are now shoulder width apart on the mat. Leg out to the side, hip width apart. Keep it straight out. Just a few breaths. Behind you and down. Left leg straight out behind you. Right arm forward. Increase the distance between your foot and your hand. Two more long breaths. Hand down, keep the leg out to the side. Hip height 90 degrees out to the side. Yeah, leg behind you and down. Okay, your hands are broad on the mat, right at the front corner. Get your feet back on the back side of the mat, as broad as possible. It's almost like your hands and feet are on all four corners of the mat, if that's possible. If your mat's freakishly long, you can't do this. But otherwise, you're in this kind of very extended kind of plank. It's like a hybrid between a plank and a downward dog. Just hang here for a while. Not hang, actually, lift. Hang out, but lift. Okay, start lifting your hips, actually, as if there was a rope underneath your hips pulling towards the ceiling and pulling you towards the back of the mat. And stretch the mat forward with your hands, pulling back with your feet. And then walk very slowly up the center line of the mat, using as many steps as you need to get all the way up to the top. Feet are together. Interlace your hands behind your back and let the top of your head sink towards the floor. Lift your toes if possible. Holding it here for a few breaths. Relax the back of your neck. Okay, hands on your hips, bend your knees, reaching forward with the arms. Hands on your hips, up you come. And change the angle slightly, so if I stand, you can see what's going on. Welcome everybody. Hope you're warm. Getting warmer. Okay, we're at the front of the mat. Our feet are together. Arms up, knees bent. Pull your ribs and belly button a little bit back if you can. Fingertips down on the side of your body on the mat. In line with slide your fingertips back to your heels. Step your right foot back as far as you can. The front knee is over the foot. Your back heel is over the toes of the back heel. And you're kind of getting that foot as far back as you can. This is a front lunge, you're facing the front. Hips are lifting. Stretching from the back heel to the top of your head. And then lower the knee to the ground. Arms out to the side. Perhaps your hips are pushing down and forward. Now your arms are up. It's like a giant moon resting on the back of your body, pressing into your hips. Fingertips down on the side of the mat. Lift up, step forward next to the other foot, and straight away shoot your left foot back, big distance. That front right knee is over the ankle. Back foot toe box is vertical, and your heel is above your toe box, and that foot is as far back as you can. And you stretch, your shoulders are above your fingertips, and you stretch back to the heel. Forward to the top of the head, lift your head slightly. Okay, drop the back knee, arms out to the side, hips are pressing down and forward, and then arms are up, stretching up, lifting up. Hands down, step forward next to the other foot, bend your knees and reach forward. Hands and hips, up you come. Nice. Catch your breath. If you're feeling dizzy, give yourself time to acclimatize. Fingers are spread, palms facing the side of the body. Your shoulders are on the side of the body, not forward, not overly backward. Nice and relaxed on the side. Gazing forward, chin is relaxed. Bend the knees, arms up. Fingertip prayer in front of you. Your elbows are the same height as your wrists. Lower the prayer down onto your knees, gazing forward and down, lengthening the back of your body. Okay, hands are down on the mat, wide apart, fingers are spread, step back to a plank. You're straight as a plank. Feet are together. You can step them slightly apart actually. Knees down, flip onto the tops of your feet, press your chest forward and pull your shoulders back. Your knees are still on the ground, you're pressing your hips back, pulling your shoulders like a proud pigeon. And when you're ready, lift your thighs, pressing your thighs up. Gazing forward, keeping the neck relaxed, you're lifting like a lizard. Press the outside little toes of your feet down, so you're pressing the whole top surface of your foot onto the ground. Okay, back onto all fours. Tuck your toes, press your shoulders towards your ears. Try to lengthen the distance between your hips and your shoulders. Now keeping that, straighten your legs and drive vigorously back into your thighs. Your thighs are the largest bones, pull them back like levers, pulling your hip structure back away from your wrists. Lengthen to the most sensitive part of that stiff area, wherever it's most stiff. Bring your attention and your breath to that. Can you gently approach it and activate stretching through it? Be gentle, but explore it. Lift your heels so you're on high tiptoes, bend your knees. And on the next inhale, jump forward. Bend your knees and reach forward. Holding it here for a couple more breaths. Hands on your hips, up you come. Nice. Again, lots of repetition, bending the knees, arms up. Fingertips down, stepping the right foot back, big distance. Right arm forward. So you're extending right leg, right arm, that whole right side of the body. Drop the back heel, arm goes up. Front knees bent, side angle toes, lifting that whole left side of the body up. Top hand down, step forward. Step back with the left foot as far as possible. Left arm forward, stretching from heel to fingertips. Drop the back heel, left arm up, side angle pose. Front knees bent deeply, lengthening that whole left side of the body towards the ceiling. up and down, step forward, bend your knees, reach forward. Hands on your hips, up you come. Getting warm. Standing pose. Catch your breath. If you're feeling dizzy, let yourself acclimatize. You want to do this for maximum feeling, so if it's too fast, you must take a break, come back into it. You can always activate more or adjust your level to wherever you're feeling. It should feel therapeutic, even if it's challenging or discomfortable, uncomfortable. Okay, feet are hip width apart. Same again, chair pose. Bend your knees, reaching up with the arms. Pulling your belly button and ribs back, trying to get everything above the hips. Prayer, down onto your knees. Left fingertips on the ground between your body, right arm up. Pulling the hips back, stretching up. Increase the distance between the fingertips. Looking to the side, looking up, looking down, as long as your neck's relaxed. Switch sides. Hands down, step back to plank. In a nice straight plank. Now keeping your elbows tucked closely to your body, bend down into a press up, just holding it here for a breath or two. And then lower yourself down to your chest. Okay. Slide your wrists back so they're beneath your elbows. Wiggle your hips around so you're comfortable. And then using as much strength in your torso as possible, your arms as little as possible. Lift your shoulders up into a kind of a cobra snake pose. Your hips are still on the ground. You're lifting your shoulders up, maybe swaying from side to side, working the lower back here, and then down. Place your hands on top of each other. Rest your forehead on the back of your hands. And picture breathing into the lower part of your body, into that kind of kidney area. Can you keep your body, don't let it rise up and down, breathe broad into your kidney area. Try and activate using the breath subtly into that lower sacroiliac area of your lower spine. And knees are wide apart, feet are touching. Reaching forward with your arms, you're on the fingertips, lift your knees off the ground. Neck is relaxed, arms are out to the side. And you reach back and grab the ankles. The arms are held in the ankles, pressing the shins back. And then let go, relax. Lengthen the legs. Hands, foreheads resting on the back of the hands. Sway your hips from side to side. Hands on the side of the mat. And press yourself up to sitting pose. You're on all fours. And then let's come up to the mat, front of the mat, through a downward dog. So we straighten our legs into downward dog. And we walk forward up the front of the mat. When you get to the top, bend our knees and reaching forward. Hands on your hips. Up you come. Okay. One more standing pose sequence. Inhale, arms up. Now with a flat back, pull your hips back. And fingertips go all the way to the ground as far as you can. The knees can be a bit bent if you wish, otherwise they're straight. Maybe you step to kind of hip width apart. You're in a forward bend, reaching forward with the fingertips. Actually, step your feet together again. Slide your hands back in line with your heels. Step your right foot back, big distance. Knee down. Same again, arms up. There's that moon pressing on the back of your body. Your left elbow's on your left knee. You're activating the whole right side of your body, lifting up, lengthening from heel all the way through to the fingertips. It's a very strong pose. Those fingertips are spread for extra power. Okay, drop the back heel and point towards the back of the room with that top hand. And then if someone's pulling on that hand, pull yourself up to Warrior Two. Now your shoulders are above your hips. That front knee is above the ankle, and that whole back structure is pulling back. If there was two panes of glass squeezing you, you would be going into like quite a flat structure here. Pull your shoulders back so they're above your hips. Warrior Two. Now you're in a prayer. This is a vigorous one coming up here. You're in a prayer. That right elbow to the left knee, twisting over, looking to the side, lengthening from the back heel to the top of the head. Through this twisted structure. Quite intense. On the next inhale, come back up to Warrior Two. Step forward. And we're going to do the other side. Inhale, arms up. Flat back, pulling the hips back. Exhale all the way down. Step your left foot back, big distance. And drop the back knee. Arms out to the side and then up. There's a big ball resting in the back of your body. Stretching up. Right elbow on your right knee. Fingers are spread, activating that left side of your body. Lengthening from heel to fingertips. Dropping the back heel, and then point that top hand towards the back of the room. Come up to Warrior Two. Get that back hand back so your shoulders are above your hips. Gazing forward, the front knees are directly over the ankle. Back foot's quite far back, the thighs pulling back. Now we're in a prayer. And I'm going to rotate and twist our left elbow to that front knee. Not much longer, and then come back up to Warrior Two. Step forward. Knees bent, arms up. Fingertips to the ground. Step your right foot back, big distance. Now the right foot's on the floor, on the mat, but you're not on the toe box, you're on the sole of the foot. Front knee is over the ankle. Hips are facing the front, and your arms are out to the side. Now you're facing the front with your hips. Arms up. Warrior One. A nice strong pose as well. That right thigh is pulling back, that back thigh pulling back, that whole side of your body pulling back as if you were in a strong airstream. You're in a prayer position, leaning forward in front of the knee, activating all the way through, one line, from heel to the top of your head. Fingertips down on the side of the mat, straighten that front leg, pulling the hips back. Pull the hips back and up. Both legs are straight now. Front foot's facing forward. The back foot slid 45 degrees. And lifting that right arm up. Triangle pose. Stretch from fingertip to fingertip. That hip's lifting up, pulling back. Top hand down. Step forward next to the other foot, back with the other, switching sides. Okay, that front knee is over the ankle, that back foot is flat on the mat at 45 degrees. Those hips are facing the front, arms out to the side and up. Warrior One. The left thigh, that back thigh is pulling back, that hip is pulling back. So the hips are kind of rotating here. Now you're in a prayer. And that left elbow to the right knee. Position your head so it's an extension of your spine. Pressing vigorously into each hand, like hands to hand. Vigorous prayer. This is using kind of traction to twist into that twist. Okay. Back up to Warrior Two. Step forward. And I think we should start cooling it down a bit. So let's make your way down to the mat. going to sit. I'm just going to adjust this slightly because put it over now. Does that work? Let's see. Bikes, twists and rolls. Yes. Okay, so let's lie on our back. Lie on your back. Feet together. Arms out to the side. Bend your right knee. Lift it up. And that left leg is straightening out. You're pressing into the long leg that's on the ground. You activate the heel. That's kind of the primary safety mechanism. On the exhale, you switch legs. So you lower the right leg and you bring the left knee up. Exhale, lower the straight leg. Inhale up. Just go basically the yogic bicycles. Try and time the lengthening of the leg to the exhale. Sorry, my cueing here is not right. I'm not synchronizing the breath to the movement. Just alternate straightening your one leg, bending the other leg. We're doing a kind of a total of about 8 times. And then relax, both feet on the ground. Okay, straighten your left leg, arms out to the side. Hook your right toe behind the left knee. Put your left hand on your right knee. Gaze over at the side where your extended arm is, gaze up to the right side, and then pull that knee down while you activate into the straight leg. So you lengthen, you're trying to stand tall into your heel, but you're pulling that knee over. It doesn't matter how far down you go. You rather activate and lengthen and then add twist as you so see fit. So you straighten and twist. When you inhale, press at your heel, exhale, twist. Inhale, focus on lengthening, exhale, focus on twisting. And then release, switch sides. Both legs are straight out in front of you. Left toe is hooked behind the right knee. Left arm's out to the side. Right hand is on the left knee. Gazing over at your left hand. Pull the knee across. Activate down into the standing leg. Pull on the exhale. Lengthen on the inhale. Release. Both knees are bent. Right foot on the left knee. Arms out to the side. Use the strength of the left leg to lift your hips up. Hips are the same height. Driving the hips up as far as you can. Chest is lifted. Lower the hips to the ground. Both feet on the ground. Switch sides. Left ankle on your right knee. Drive the hips up. Okay, come out of it. Knees are bent, they lifted off, your feet are off the ground, your feet are touching, your knees are wide apart, and then roll on the exhale over to the one side, inhale up to the middle, exhale over to the other side. So you're rolling your thigh down to the ground, inhale up, exhale over to the other side. Move at whatever speed you want, synchronize it to your breath. Just rolling, touching the ground with your thigh. Your knees are as wide apart as feels comfortable. Your feet are touching. Let's do that a couple more times. Just mobilizing the spine. Giving it a bit of an irregular twist. Okay. Feet are down at your bum. Hands grab your shins just above your ankles. Don't let your knees splay out. They must remain parallel to the sides of your body. Use the strength of your thighs. Drive your hips up. Tuck your shoulders underneath you as far as you can. Press your chest up and forward towards your chin. Lift your hips. Give it a little bit of extra energy. Driving it up. Not full on. 1 or 2 breaths here. It's quite an exaggerated position. Hold this as long as you can. And then slowly come out of it. Vertebra by vertebra. Untuck your shoulders all the way down. Quite intense. You might see stars. Feel a bit dizzy. Hold it if you can. If it's too much, come out of it. It eventually will dissipate. Might need a few little cycles, but first one's gentle, give the next one a little bit more energy. These back bends opening up the front of the body, if there's any anxiety or low moods, are extremely mood enhancing. We're only going to do one or two more, so let's go for it. Grab your ankles, press your hips up. This time, you can either do the same again, or raise your arms above you and then place the hands above your shoulders on the mat. Tuck your elbows as close together as they can be, and then lift up onto the top of your head. Rest the head on the ground. Drive your belly button and hips up. Breathing through the nose. If it's too much, come out of it, otherwise hold it. Lift your head, lower it down to the ground and come out of the pose. Intense back bend. Now we're going to do a very unusual pose. Fish pose. This is a strange one. It's very good for the throat. If you've ever got like a lurgy coming on, this is a good one to stretch the throat. So here I am, I'm sitting, leaning back on my hips. I'm kind of holding my hips, I guess. Gazing back. Work your top of your head down to the ground somehow. If it's too much, give it a break. But otherwise, if you're in this position, knees are together. When you're ready, lift your arms up and straighten your legs. You're not going to hold this for long. Your knees can be bent or you can straighten the legs. It's quite intense on the throat. It's an intense upper back opener. Hold it as long as you can and then come out of it. Relax. That was the fish. Stay aligned for a couple more moments. And then when you're ready, come up. Okay, one or two more sitting poses and then we're going to breathe a bit. This is quite a traditional one. You're sitting. Legs are straight out in front of you. Lift your right heel and grab underneath the heel with your right hand. You're cupping underneath the leg. Left arm up. You're stretching up. You're pressing down with the sitting bones. Really drive up. Lift this foot, pull it back a bit. Just holding this strange position. Drive back on this and drive up with this. Okay, grab the foot, center it in front of your face, and how high can you hold it? You're pressing down with this thigh, the straight leg's pressing down. It might be challenging on your lower back, but try and activate down with the sitting leg, and then holding this foot up towards your face, and as high and back as you can get it. This knee is maybe pressing slightly forward. This is a strange pose. If you can, get this elbow in front of the foot and cradle your shin. Interlace your hands. Can you get this position? If it's too much, no problem. But if you can get here, it doesn't matter what version of it. Just experience this strange position. Your shin is now parallel to the front. Can you center yourself? Sitting tall. Pull back with the shin as far as you can, like an archer drawing a bow. Pressing up and forward with the foot, but you're bound with your own body here. Pressing that foot vigorously up. Pulling the knee as far back as you can. Forward again. Okay, cup the foot, slowly pull the foot down towards your groin, pressing the knee forward, going into a strange half lotus here. This knee's doing a funny rotation. Wherever you get to, anywhere near that, it's great. Try and experiment very gently with your knee, going into this half lotus. If you're there, stretching up, pressing down with the sitting bones in the thigh. Breathing deeply, and then lift up, come out of it. Other side. So your right leg is straight, active, pressing down with the thigh. Cup underneath the left heel with the left hand. And then lift the foot up to kind of knee height, pulling that foot back a bit. lifting up with this right hand. Stretch up, pull back, strange motion. Grab the foot somewhere in the center, lift it, the knees pressing forward, the foot's lifting and pulling back. And then if you can, wrap that elbow in front of the foot. Interlace your hands and cradle that shin. Facing the front. Swaying from side to side. Pulling it as far back as you can. Pressing up and forward. Activating against the bound of your own body. Pulling back. Activating forward. Pulling back. Just playing around. Okay, so the knee stays pressing forward. I'm grabbing the foot, pulling it down to my groin. Knee goes forward and rotates. And down. Arms are up. This thigh is pressing down. Sitting bones are rooting down. I tap roots into the ground. Might want to lean forward and stretch up. Hands down. Lift up. Gently come out of it. Okay. It's quieting down. You want to sit, give yourself a little bit of lift. Makes it a lot easier to sit with a lengthened spine. So I'm rolling my mat up into a little bit of a sausage. Or you can sit on some books. Or you can sit on a stool. It doesn't really matter. Or a chair, whatever. The aim is to not be hunched in the back, but to have the spine tilting forward. So if you lift up slightly, you can drop the sitting bones down and they're lengthening up into the shoulders. You're breathing lift into the body. We can get quiet. I'm going to talk us through a couple of little technical moves. And then we're going to sit. So I'm going to just, you don't need to do this, but basically place your, I've lifted my shirt so you place your fingertip on your belly button. Now normally the inhale is active and the exhale is passive. So here we're going to do some belly breath where we exhale vigorously. The action is on the exhale. See if you can hear this. So on the exhale, I thrust my belly button backwards. I drive the air out using activation of the muscles as low down in the diaphragm here as you can. Pick up the pattern. Exhaling vigorously on the exhale. It's a quick inhale. Stop. Give it a break. Might make you dizzy. It can be quite hyperventilating. While you're doing that, you're trying to lengthen. That action forces you to get off the usual support structures, and some shift can happen. We're going to do it once or twice more, varying the speeds. So I'm touching my belly button, and when I vigorously exhale, that my belly button should pull away from my hand. The hand's just there to give you some mental feedback. Am I actually doing what I'm trying to link? Yeah. I'm going to go for a slightly faster one. It's like a pump. Stop. You don't want to get dizzy. But you want to be able to manipulate this area of your breath. So we're just practicing. The last one is going to be slow. So we're going to drive the air out slowly, but relax. scan and feel. Allow yourself to sit and get quieter. We're going to sit for a few minutes. We'll do one or two little things just to keep it interesting and keep our attention going. But we're trying to infuse, if anything, a sense of contentment and okayness right now, and just scan and observe without trying to formulate any opinions. We float, we savor, we feel, we listen. And one last little exercise, just to really purify the nervous system and the whole nostril, nasal passage thing. One nostril breathing. So we're breathing in through the one nostril, out through the other nostril. In through the same nostril, out through the other nostril. I'll cue the first few breaths, and then I'm just hoping to fall into rhythm and you can listen to my breath. Block your one nostril, inhale deeply, pulling down into the diaphragm so you hear yourself. Switch on the exhale. Inhale through the same nostril. And switch. Keep going. Lengthen, deepen, smoothen, keep going. Same length inhale, same length exhale. Keep yourself relaxed and centered. Switch arms. Be the witness to your breath just for a minute or two. Introduce a pause between the inhale and exhale and exhale and inhale. And soften and quieten. Neck is relaxed. Keep going. Last few rounds. Let go of your hands. Rest your hands on your knees or cup them in front of you. Sitting tall, eyes are closed. And remain with your attention in the room, in your body. at witnessing it. If you start thinking about something and you become aware of that, wrap it in a blank label. Just bring it back to right now. Sounds around you. I hear crickets. Maybe make a wish. And let's just continue for a few more minutes in lying down. Shavasana, the final pose. Lying on your back, palms facing up, neck is long and relaxed. Total surrender. No more effort. Visualize every particle of your body dripping down. Your jaw and your forehead and your eyeballs are sinking down and relaxed. And give a final stretch above your head. Legs are straight, arms above. Stretch out. Bend your knees and move your hips a bit, roll over onto your side. Just rest your head on your arm for a little bit, taking stock. And when you're ready, gently make your way up. Bless your sweat. Thank you for practicing together, and I wish you a wonderful evening and a good sleep. See you next week, same time, for level 4 Lockdown Yoga. Thank you, bye-bye.